Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your morning. So one of the ETFs that I've been watching this morning is /NG. It's been showing signs of this uptrend pattern, showing signs of it being a little bit more bullish, making higher highs and stuff like that. So one of the things that I observed is that once it reaches this general area right around here, it tends to peak out. So again, just trying to have an understanding of kind of where we're experiencing a resistance. As of right now, it's still trending, at least for natural gas, below the EMA line, so not too sure if we're going to see a break above. That's exactly why I have my alert set at 320, right? When it comes down to the overall pattern on UGAS is trying to show signs of a bounce, and it has been making higher highs, and it is opening green based off of yesterday's patterns. But again, not 100% sure if it's going to break above this EMA line. So all I'm going to do is simply, wait and let's see and give it the benefit of the doubt, right? So I'm going to go ahead and move this a little bit to the side. Here we go. There we go. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your morning. Let's see. For those that are joining us for possibly the first time, today is Thursday. We usually try to focus, on the natural gas report that comes out 1 hour after the market opens. So right now it's 6:30 for my time. It's going to be 7:30. For those that are going to be asking, where could you access the natural gas report? It's released, minutes right before it's announced and stuff like that, or that minute that it's announced and stuff. So you'll see kind of how we do things if you haven't seen it already and stuff like that. So AMD broke above the top VWAP. Let's check that out. So all right, 1 second. Okay, so we got ticker symbol GLUE with a really nice push up. SQQ, let's see. SQQ not making higher highs as of right now, so I'm going to set an alert if it begins to make higher highs or if it begins to make lower lows to identify what direction it's going. So I don't know if you guys saw my update. I posted it in both TechBud Solutions, my Instagram, and on YouTube as a post. But I was able to cover a little bit over $1,100 profit on SQQQ. And then on DGAS I had about 385. So altogether I was at 1497 on the day. So it was definitely a very green day for myself. And that's why I'm setting my alerts on both sides just to see what direction it's going to be going. I'm going to do the same thing with DRIP. DRIP was trying to show signs of an uptrend. /CL is showing signs of an uptrend. So if that continues, then that means that that's not going to be in great favor of DRIP. AMD. Okay, so AMD had a pretty bad sell-off after its earnings. Let's check this out. Yeah, pretty aggressive sell-off. Kind of makes sense. Very overbought based off previous patterns. So yeah, it makes sense on, its earnings was pretty normal based off previous patterns. And last time the overall price point of where it was at was much less than where it was at now. So yes, it's trying to present a dip buy opportunity. I would still, if I were to trade this, I would solely focus on a day trade. And I still think that it's overextended. So if you don't feel comfortable because you don't see that it's a good deal, then I wouldn't force it. But it definitely looks like it's pushing up as of right now. So just a higher form of risk, but definitely a good form of opportunity. Check this out. Sweet, sweet. Congrats, Sergio. Whoa. All right, so GLUE is pushing up, or did push up during pre-market hours, but as of right now, all it's looking like it's doing is pushing below, trading in between the middle and bottom VWAP, which is something that we talked about yesterday. So make sure that you're well aware of not just how much it's pushed up and if it's green on the day, but if it's actually showing signs of an uptrend. That's what's most important. So there we go. Looks like you guys might start showing signs of a sell-off. All right, here we go. So I'm trying to see what direction what's going, like, you know, DGAS or UGAS is going to be going. So now /NG broke below the middle VWAP. And we're going to have to see, is this going to hold? So is DGAS going to continue to push up, or is it natural gas that's going to try to recover? So if I'm not mistaken, UGAS had a pretty aggressive sell-off all day yesterday, and DGAS had a pretty aggressive push up. So it makes sense on why, you know, it can try to recover, but it also makes sense on why it can continue to sell off. So glue is just making lower lows today. As of right now, it just doesn't make much sense to pay attention to this. So because of that, I'm simply going to remove it from my watch list. As of right now, because AMD is pushing up, it makes sense on why, you know, it doesn't mean that I have to trade it, but why it might be something that I might want to watch, especially if I could get a, you know, a good buy. So I'll add it to the list and just simply, you know, keep a tab on it. What else are you guys looking at? So again, if /CL is pushing up today, so let me just make sure that that pattern is still following. It's still following, so it's still in between the middle and top VWAP. So that means that UWT and DWT. So UWT showed signs of a pretty aggressive push up, so opening green on the day and is now starting to show signs of a potential reversal, right? And then there's DWT that had a pretty aggressive sell-off but is trying to recover. So again, if you don't feel comfortable with the data, with, like, you know, the candles that were given during pre-market hours, and you don't think that's enough for you to analyze, then guess what? You don't actually have to take a position, right? Until you feel comfortable, or even if you end up not feeling comfortable all day, then don't worry about it. Don't force it. Let's just keep it simple. So SQQ broke above the resistance. Looks like it might be trying to make higher highs on the day. This could be something exciting. But again, I want to give it more time for it to identify its direction. To put into perspective of how, like, you know, when there's a good setup and when everything can play according to plan. So I think, you know, this could be a great example. When ticker symbol SQQ, you know, you didn't have to trade it. It covered all this margin, right? It covered like 4 to 5% as it was pushing up, and then it sold off, and it was trading between the middle VWAP to the top VWAP indicator, right? But you didn't even have to take a position to like 9:30 to 10 to then identify that this was trending up on the day, right? So that it was making higher highs. So even when it broke the previous high at around 1420, that it was making higher highs and just continued to uptrend, even at like, you know, 11 o'clock, right? 11 o'clock, 12 to closing hours. When something is trending up, the thing that you want to focus on most is, you know, does it have more margin to cover? Is the demand still there? And is the opportunity cost still there, right? So is it still going to continue to trend up? Is the margin of profit worth it? And is it something that you see value in? So I know we're very focused because we're trading within the first, you know, 1 hour together, but let's make sure that we use that as a catalyst to remind us how important it is to be selective and to be patient, especially when we don't see a setup, you know, forming. So as of right now, I was about to take a position on UWT because /CL was starting to show signs of an uptrend. But the thing that kind of sketched me out is that it's the middle VWAP is definitely still pointing down, and so is the EMA line. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to set my alert if it breaks above, or I'm going to set my alert if it breaks below the SMA line. So I could understand, why is it that I'm setting an alert above the middle VWAP or below the SMA line? Why would that be, you know, relevant? What's going on, guys? Good morning. So why would that be relevant? I did it with ticker symbol SQQQ, right? Like, why would that be relevant? To identify if it broke above the middle VWAP or it broke below the SMA line. What is it that I'm trying to understand? So some of you are saying confirmation and some of you are saying direction. DRIP just broke above 890. Exactly. It lets us know that in which the direction the pullback decides to go. So is this something that's going to continue to sell off? And if so, then it'll probably break below the SMA line and break its overall pattern, right? Because yesterday all it was doing was trending above this. Or is it something that's going to bounce and recover and begin and continue to make higher highs like it was during pre-market hours today? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not so much of confirmation of a reversal, but more to understand its direction. I think that's much more important to me before taking a position. So big picture, if I understand its direction, yes, sometimes I might not have their confirmation, but if I understand the direction in which that stock is trending, even without confirmation, and there's certain steps, and you want to make sure that you almost have all of them, right? But I feel like understanding direction and the choices that you can make because you do understand them can be something that could be very valid and very important. Confirmation of direction. I like that. Okay. Here we go. LABD starting to show signs of a sell-off, making lower lows. AMD just broke above 1960. There we go. Just made higher highs. So what's this thing that it just covered? About 2.5%. That descending MACD, overextended RSI. Just some things on why I'm probably not super motivated to take a position. DRIP, there we go. So you could tell that there's some form of promotion going on here. Look at the average volume that it had going on, and then all of a sudden the volume hugely just fluctuates, right? And then right as it has this huge push up, so does the volume follow, and then it has these huge sell-offs, and then you see it follow as well. The direction is pointing down. There's no signs of an uptrend. It's just not. Yes, the MACD is trying to reverse back up. That's irrelevant. The RSI is oversold. That's irrelevant. Overall direction is pointing down, and that's what I want to make sure that you understand before taking a position, especially a swing trade position. So we get you guys now trying to recover. So it's riding right around that middle VWAP. So it looks like it hit highs of about 83.80. So here we go. Do we have a balance, or is it just making lower highs? Something that we have to ask ourselves, right? Is it just making lower highs and then going to continue to sell off? Or is it something that's actually going to try to recover? So I just got an alert that DRIP, which is DRIP, made higher highs. So it's showing signs of an uptrend direction with its overall resistance that it had yesterday, right around 920. And then we got an alert that JDST is making higher highs as well. This is the one that was really bullish on the day, but it was bearish when the market opened. So let's be aware of that the direction can change. So let's keep a little bit of a closer eye on /GC and the way that it's headed. So as of right now, it is getting rejected, trading between the middle and bottom VWAP. So it makes sense on why JDST can continue to rally. So I need DGAS to stay about, do you mean above? 1457. So I'll buy into DGAS and then, UGAS, and then UGAS will sell off. And then just because we know how my luck works, right? Just kidding. Oh, looks like we might be wearing the same hoodie. Don, I'm sure you're well aware of it. DGAS is showing signs of it. UGAS, I apologize, is showing signs of a rejection as of right now in between the middle and bottom VWAP. As of right now, the only thing that I want to present is on the 5-day, 5-minute chart. So if we could bring that up on the 5-day, 5-minute chart, it's just approaching a general area, right? A price point around like $82, $80 to $82, which tends to be viewed as more oversold. So I do agree that it can probably continue to sell off before it begins to recover, but it's reaching more of like this buy range or buy territory. So I haven't looked at DGAS yet. Okay, so DGAS is approaching. You want to stay above What? 1457. Oh man, you're super close. Okay. Yeah, I'd say as it gets closer to $15, it tends to become overbought, especially with this overall descending pattern. Although it is consolidating, it's kind of that consolidation phase. It hasn't really been fulfilling its role of making higher highs as of right now. So someone's asking, when is the natural gas report coming out? That's at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's 1 hour after the market opens, wherever it is that you are. So East Coast time, I'm guessing it would be around 10:30. Central Standard Time would be around 8:30. I see. So you're going for the report. Risky. Risk it to get the biscuit, right? Let's see. SQQQ. Now we are seeing a break below. Here we go. Yep. So I'm going to change it on over to SQQQ. Whoa, too many Qs. So UWT just broke above its resistance. I'm going to add this to my uptrend watch list. UWT, so not DWT, but UWT. This one has relatively pretty low volume, so something that we want to be aware of. Also, let's understand its direction. It's been more of a descending pattern, so I would identify this, if anything, to be a strong day trade, not a swing trade whatsoever. So just understand that it's been making lower lows and lower highs altogether. And on this 180-day chart, it is very oversold and possibly due for a reversal. But again, we're not here to tell the future, predict the future. So let's make sure that we understand that. It is, again, approaching a price point where it is very oversold. But it's done this multiple times where it tries to reverse and just doesn't. So oh, we're getting a nice little push. See resistance on LABU. These are biotech, right? Okay. So this is the one that is offering that descending pattern. So the first resistance that I'd identify would be this specific EMA line, right? So the MACD looks like it's curling back in. Other than that, I would look at different time frames, the 5-day, 5-minute, maybe. Oh, okay. The SMA line has acted as a resistance before, so we might experience a resistance right around 51.50. And then on the 20-day, 1 hours of time frame that I like to look at, and overall it has been getting rejected by this area, and that would be right around that $64, $65 price point as well. So everything's showing signs that it's trying to reverse, but we definitely don't know. So AMD just, holy moly. Let's check this out. Let's not forget to lock in profits, right? So TQQ now becoming a little bit on the overextended side. Here we go. So now we're above the EMA line, right? I'm gonna add a average is 83.4699, so pretty much 83.47. There we go. So why are you using TOS instead of Robinhood to trade if you have commissions to pay? I mean, my commissions are $4.95, so it's reduced commission, and I would focus and rely on much more. I would rather pay for a more, I think, a higher quality service with customer support, and a better overall interactive broker in comparison to Robinhood. I've talked about it before, right? I think Robinhood's good for when you're starting out and maybe with a smaller dollar amount. But execution and efficiency is like, I'd rather pay for that. And it's like $4.95, and I'm trading with a certain dollar amount that, you know, isn't really negatively affected by that. But that's just my opinion. It doesn't mean that you have to follow. Yep, I like that, Daniel. That's why we switched it on our watch list. Thank you again for calling it out and bringing it back to, you know, there goes AMD. AMD approaching at or near this EMA line. Just got that alert. Look at that descending MACD finally falling through. Volume has kind of fallen as well. Let's see if we could start making higher highs. If so, you just have to ask yourself, what's the margin of profit? Look at previous highs. You know, yes, it's making higher highs, but what's, you know, an entry point, an exit point, the margin of profit, the risk, where you're going to cut losses, all that good stuff you want to plan out, right? Here we go. Alrighty. So JNUG just broke below, meaning that JDST is making higher highs. There we go. I like that, thank you. TVIX trying to bounce off of the 180-day SMA. So does that mean it's selling off now? Yeah, so right now it's still selling off, no signs of a bounce, maybe a potential reversal. I will follow up with it. So are you and you guys? Yeah. I showed myself taking a position. Come on, guys. Let's see. Just hit my goal for the week, done before 7 a.m. Sam, super happy to hear that. Donna's saying, can we get a dunk tank if you sell too early? No. Is /CL a strong uptrend? Holy moly, it's Jason Bourne. So /CL is pushing up, which means that then Gush and UWT, right? So then /NG just pushed up. UWT with a huge push up, so we were correct on this one. UWT pushing up, TQQ with a nice push up and break of resistance. It looks like AMD is now trying to bounce again. Again, there's a lot of things trending up right now, and I know it can be very overwhelming. So DRIP should begin to sell off, and because of that, I removed it from my watch list. Again, not trying to focus on what's trending down, right? LABD trending down, so that means that LABU is the one that's going to be pushing up on the day, right? So LAB, or as of right now, that's what I'm getting. So nice little push up. UWT with that push up. You guys making higher highs, still below that middle view up. So before I add more to my position, I have to be aware of that. So, and then /NG just broke above a alert that I set. So that's attractive to me. Just want to show that. So my bad, Ricky, I wasn't watching. No worries. Jonathan, what were you doing if you weren't watching me? Just kidding. Totally understand. Okay. Okay, CROX isn't really trending up as of right now. Yeah, it's been showing more signs of it getting rejected by this general area. So we'll set quite a bit of alerts here, and it's just not trending up right now. So unfortunately, it's going to go back here to the pending reversal watch list, and we'll have to move on from there. So here we go. We're up on the day here. Very low volume for DSLV, but yeah, /SI is a little bullish on the day. Here we go. Right around that middle VWAP. Baby Park KO. Super happy to have you here. Thank you again for tuning in, and thank you for your time. Hold steady, D guys. Hold. Don, I literally want you to make money. So I'll sell my position on you guys, and then you guys will shoot up, and then you'll stop. I'm just kidding. Ooh, that looks a little sketch. Oh, what's going on here? Are we getting a bounce? Are we getting a bounce? So, Ina, like I would put a stop loss if I was trading something that was a little bit more aggressive. As of right now, I'm not too focused on trading aggressive stocks. So usually the stocks and ETFs that I trade don't move very quickly. So I like to focus more on a break of pattern and give it time to recover. So. Yep, you guys should be breaking the middle VWAP. There we go. We just broke below the middle VWAP for DGAS, which means that you guys should be up. There we go. So you guys above 83.93, 83.95, approaching $94. Do you plan selling before your position, before the natural gas report? 100%. You guys should know that I personally don't like, and I know that I could make a good amount of money, and there's like that like FOMO and just like, oh my God, I was on you guys and you guys pushed up 2.5%. Trust me, I know. It's just to myself, it's worth so much more to just lock in profits and to be able to control like the money I make, right? So that would make much more sense to me. So /NG just broke above another alert that I just set up. So that should be in favor of you guys. And then we'll simply follow up with it. So, and again, that's my approach. It doesn't mean that like you guys all have to be super conservative. I mean, you guys invested in me and I'm here to share my opinion, and that's something that like, that is perfect for each and every single one of you. I want you guys to be able to like analyze my investing style and see what works well for me and see if you think that it would work well for you and practice it, right? So I'm gonna get my order ready to sell. There we go. Nice little push up above $84. Boom. When you went into DGAS, did you have to 30? No, I went into UGAS. I went into this one with a 50% position. So I never went into DGAS. I went into UGAS because I saw natural gas trending up. Again, I try to focus more on the data that I'm able to analyze before pre-market hours, and I saw the overall direction for natural gas pushing up, which made sense on why UGAS can continue. Yeah, let's check this out. Let's check out / Shop just broke above 138. I like that. Congrats, Sergio. Congrats. Sold to you guys at 84. You're killing it, man. Here we go. So I'm just gonna put my my limit order to sell out there. If it gets filled, great. If it doesn't, then I like that. See what we got going on here. So again, the natural gas report comes out in about 26 minutes. I do want to let you guys know that the MACD is a little bit overextended, right, on natural gas, and so is the RSI. Something to be well aware of. Also, I do want to let you guys know that I did pretty good on my assignment yesterday for one of my classes. That was pretty cool. Oh, thank you. Let's check this out. Yeah, I'm having trouble understanding like if it's going to continue to go up or if its direction is going to change. So one thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to change it, send it at a market order, and see where I get filled. So let's do this. Oh, that's high enough for me. What did I sell? Oh, that's actually not bad. Look, 84.10. Where is it? I had my limit order there. I sold at 84.10. Not bad. It pushed up to 84.20. Literally. Did you guys see that? Not even a second after I sold. Look. And there it goes. Oh, Rick. Okay. I can't complain though. Again, stayed green. Stuck to my plan. Direction was kind of sketchy. The MACD was telling me, hey, you might want to get out. The RSI was telling me, hey, I'm not such a good deal. And then natural gas was again peaking out, showing signs of a peak formation. Again, hey, maybe I might want to get out. Just like talking to myself and trying to like really understand and not focus on my profits and focus on what the charts are telling me. So how much did I lock in? $66. What the heck? I got filled at 84.40. Hold up. I sold at... Where did I get filled? .47 minus 84.10. That's 63 cents. 63 cents times 200 shares is 126. What the heck? I didn't drink yet, day trade. That's not right. Did I take another? No, I did not. Okay. A humming sound in the background. Maybe that was me. Like as I was using that calculator. I thought I was up like over $100 minimum. I almost sold at. Oh no, not really $1 per share, but at 200 shares, which is even 50 cents. 50 cents of 200 shares is $100. And it definitely covered more than 50 cents. Yeah, I should have been up 120 because there's a total of, yeah, like 62 cents. That's 124. Ah, okay, I'm not complaining. Profit is profit, right? I was so pumped. I mean, even the $100 isn't a huge amount, but still, I feel like I got whatever. All right, let's move on. All right, so AMD is now starting to show signs of a peak formation. It's struggling to make higher highs, so let's move on from there. TQQ is freaking killing it. MACD is very overextended, right? So it's showing signs of a potential descending pattern. I don't follow indexes when I trade ETFs. It's just, that's not what I do. So a 1% margin of profit, is that worth a much larger margin of loss? Probably not, right? So that is a reason why I know that I can miss out on TQQQ, but that it's okay because the opportunity cost isn't worth my time or the risk. Does that make sense? And that's okay for me to say. You know, you guys are all valued traders, and you guys should have set criteria that every stock has to meet, even if it covers that one margin. That's great. But again, is it worth your time? A perfect example that I can give you, and again, every single time you take a position, you should think about it this way. I think you should. This is how I try to think about it. So if you were right next to me, and I was like, hey, you know, I have this chapstick right here. I want you to flip this chapstick and make it, you know, and just flip it, make it do a 360 and catch it. And if you do that first try, I will give you $5. Anyone would be like, most likely anyone. I mean, I'd for sure do that, right? You know, I will do that and you'll make $5 and great. But if I tell you, let's say for all my people there on the East Coast, right? Or for my people that are even not next to me, and I'm like, I will give you $1 if you come visit me and flip the chapstick and catch it. You have to ask yourself, and in a business perspective, would you do it? Probably not, because because of like, you know, is it worth the opportunity cost? Is it worth the time? Is it worth the risk of everything that you have to experience? Yeah, well, we have people saying that I'm coming. So Keith, I would love to hang out with you guys too, but that's besides the point. That's why I said in a business perspective and an investing perspective, it doesn't make much sense. So travel cost and just the time factor, having to fly a plane or jump on a plane and do all that stuff, right? Just wouldn't necessarily be worth the time nor the effort. So now I'm pretty much just going to be waiting out for the natural gas report to come out, right? So looks like TOS is having some issues. Market price is at 83.82, yet we're all the way down here at 83.30 to 83.40. So, yeah. I would walk 1,000 miles. Joshua, you crack me up. How did the auction go yesterday? Is there a video? Not too sure if we're going to be making a video for the auctions that we visited yesterday. I didn't buy anything, but I think if we... Actually, Caleb and Weston made a video on... Weston goes to auctions all the time, so for all those that always like think that auctions are the best places to buy cars, they actually just made a video yesterday on YouTube talking about the 3 reasons why auctions suck. And I think Weston has a pretty good point of view, and then based on Caleb's experience, I mean, it's like a 5-minute video. So if you guys, want to check them out, then you guys can just search up, like, I believe it's on Weston's channel or Caleb's channel. I'll post it in the Facebook group, and then we can kind of go from there. But look, you guys, it's actually getting rejected. I actually didn't do too bad with my sell. TQQQ, perfect, just like we expected, right? Sell-off time. Probably not going to really fully sell off, but you know what I mean, right? I'm going to wait for that MACD reversal and that RSI reversal, and we might have a good play on our hands. I'll wait for this thing to start making higher highs. I like the MACD on this one. Not really the RSI though, but UWT. Looks like there's a couple things that are now starting to sell off. It makes sense, /CL. Yep, makes sense, /GC. Where you at? Okay, overall still descending pattern for /GC. Looks like it's trying to recover, so that means that, JDST is still bullish on the day. It's just a little bit overextended. Yeah, no, so, okay. Yeah, I'll probably call TD Ameritrade. I probably did something wrong on my end, so I'm not too stressed about it. But yeah, I do agree. So I don't need you guys to, I really do appreciate you guys going out of your way to care for the remaining of the profits for that trade. But I would rather focus on you guys and less on you guys, right? Man, I mean, I'm all sorts of jokes today. I like it. Okay, here we go. TQQ showing signs of a potential reversal. Let's see if it completes. So I'll have my order ready. So this is 52. So this so 300 shares is what I can go in for. If it confirms, right? And rejected. That joke got me this morning. Lack of sleep. Man, Weston, that's mean. Oh, look at that sell-off on TQQQ. And I made that joke off the top of my head. You know, we want to start seeing higher highs, so I'm just going to wait for the break above 52.50. So let's see how that goes. There we go. Make sure it continues. We'll probably see a little pullback before it continues to push up. My goodness, Stephen, that's a little mean. Let's watch out for this MACD reversal as well. So I'm watching this pretty closely. There goes the sell-off again. Okay, so as long as we make higher lows, that's what matters. Higher lows, come on. Higher lows. Oh no. It's making lower lows. That's why we're patient for that pullback confirmation. Thankfully, we didn't take the position. So some of you guys were asking to make sure that I sold all my shares. Yeah, I have nothing. It's all gone. Lock in profits and destroy people at Tomato Town. What? The heck is that? Okay, so today is just all about roasting me today. That's what I'm pretty much getting. Just like, let's roast on Ricky today. Perfect. Oh, Fortnite reference. Okay. Tomato Town. Tomato Temple. How many? Can I get a show of hands or a show of comments? How many of you guys still play Fortnite? I've played Fortnite before. I think I have 2 victories. I don't play at all anymore, but as soon as we moved into this house, there's so many things that we had to do that. Do you guys think that the hype behind Fortnite is dying out? Because I know like everyone was playing. It was all hyped up. Do you think it's dying out now? Like it's not as relevant? Or is it still super popular with younger kids? Never played it? I like it, okay. Overbought? Okay, not a good deal? Okay. Younger kids? Okay. What do you think the #1 reason why Fortnite, if you could say in one word, what is one reason that Fortnite is losing its popularity? What would you say? Fortnite is overbought at this point. MACD is showing signs of a reversal. I like that, Bobby. Holy moly. Maturity, okay. It was a pump. Fortnite was a pump and dump. I like it. COD, that's Call of Duty. I know that term. Old COD, okay. Maturity, Call of Duty. Wow, a lot of you guys are saying Call of Duty. Okay, I did not know. Is there a new Call of Duty that came out? No, I don't play Call of Duty at all, but I know the term. Fortnite is a bad company. That's not what I heard. They're worth 15 billion, right? Or 15 billion was the Epic Games was the overall valuation, and I think it's because Fortnite had a huge stake or was a huge part of that. Ricky, I'll buy COD if you do. No, I'm not good at video games. Here we go. We've been patiently waiting as TQQQ has been selling off. Look at that, MACD trying to reverse right on $52. Have you guys ever thought about this? The more patient, as something is selling off, think about this. The more patient you become, the more margin of profit that you build. What do you guys think about that? The more patient that you become as something is selling off, right? Because you're not in it already. So the more patient you are, the more margin of profit that you could build. Have you guys ever thought about it that way? So like, oh wow, like something is selling off. I'm gonna be so patient, not focus so much on getting in right away, but the more patient I become and wait for that reversal, and until that confirmation or indication is presented, the more margin of profit I build. Ah, I like that. That's actually a quote. So Apple Juice just said something that we say when we invest in cars. So your profit is made when you buy, not when you sell. That's a good, I think, mindset to have when it comes down to trying to solely focus on good deals. Your profit is made when you buy a car, when you get a good deal, than instead of selling it, right? Because there's only so much that you could really sell it for. But if you focus on getting the best deal, that's really like a controlled variable that you could really control. Then, you know, as long as you're focusing on getting a good deal, that's what should be your core focus. My TOS is not moving. I'm sorry about that. You guys sold off to 83. Now trying to bounce right back up. Again, natural gas report in 8 minutes. 8 minutes. We got TQQ at that middle VWAP. Are we going to get a bounce? Should we risk it for the biscuit? And just stop loss if it continues to sell off? Probably not. I don't like biscuits that much anyways. Oh. Yeah, the middle VWAP is still far away. Let's see. Here we go. We might be getting a bounce like that MACD. I want to wait for confirmation. I'm back in DGS now. Please don't get in UGS, Ricky. Trust me, I thought I was going to be the one that lost on that position. I felt like DGAS was starting to show signs of an uptrend, but again, I think its overall direction for /NG was in my favor. That's the only thing that like really influenced me to continue to hold that position. So, but wish you the best of luck on that one. It's a 1462. But again, the natural gas report comes out in 7 minutes, so I would be a little sketched. No Canes lately. It seems like a lot of Chipotle. Yeah, I've been having Chipotle every single day. I had Canes yesterday though. Wait. Yeah, and I didn't have Chipotle yesterday. Oh, here we go. We're starting to make potential higher highs. Can we break above $52? Let's see. But yeah, Chipotle has just been something that like when I eat it like every day, it's more filling to me. It also makes me, I think, feel a little bit better. I don't go to the gym for a very long time, but even like the 30 minutes that I do go, it just makes me feel like it's more like sustainable food for like going to the gym. So yeah, so Nick, that's an approach that a lot of people have presented, so that you buy both UGAS and DGAS, and then you put a stop loss on one or the other. And the only risk with that is if you put a stop loss at a specific price point or a stop limit, that's irrelevant if it doesn't, because it shoots up and shoots down so quickly, you run the risk of not getting filled at the price point that you want. So like, let's say this thing's about to, shoot down, right? And I put my stop loss at 51.75, at 51.71. If it shoots down so quick, you run the risk of getting filled possibly all the way down here, just depending on how quick it moves and where it is that is. So here we go. All right, so $52.0099 is where I got filled. So that is my 50% position for my entry on TQQQQ. So yeah. You tag out both more often than not. So, okay. Yeah, I have heard of that as well. That sometimes, have you guys ever seen this where DGAS first shoots up a little bit, and then that would mean that UGAS shoots down, and then they end up reversing. So imagine you stop loss now on both and end up taking a loss on both. It's just not worth the risk to me, right? And that's just my style, but doesn't mean that you have to follow it. So we're up $30. And watch it get rejected here. Just kidding. Here. So I'm going to put another buy. I don't want to go in too aggressive with my overall position. So I'll do 200 shares if it continues to uptrend, and then we can go from there. So 200 shares of 50, that should be about 10,000. My previous position was about 300 shares, which is about 15,000. So $25,000 total, which is about like 90% of what my normal position is. Or full position is. That's a better thing. But again, if I want to continue to invest in something, and I want it, if my purpose is for my account to grow, what is it that I should be focused on? It making higher highs, its overall pattern, making higher highs. The MACD is important, yes. The RSI is important, yes. But what's most important is the overall direction. Oh no. This is why we wait for the confirmation before we add more to our position. It's not making higher highs right now. So what I'm going to do is, just because we're getting very close to the earnings report, or not the earnings report, but the natural gas report, I'm going to switch my attention on over for you guys to natural gas and see what direction it pushes up. I'll have my order here if it continues to go up. I'll also have my order ready here. Oh, we can do a flex grid. How about this? Best of both worlds. Come on, Rick. Here we go. Why is my top VWAP looking like that? That's a disgusting top VWAP. Ew. Boom. Boom. Holy moly. I'm up $75. That's not that much, but it's cool. Isn't trading such an amazing thing? There we go. Up 100. This thing needs to get smaller. My goodness. Potential resistance right around 52.50 based off of previous patterns. So what do I do all the time? We lock in profits early. So we'll see how this goes. Ah! Spoke too soon. Holy moly. I keep a close eye out on this. So as of right now, This is natural gas. Again, if natural gas sells off, that's in favor of degas. If natural gas pushes up, that's in favor of UGAS, right? So we got it. Good. Here we go. It's still going. Should I lock in profits, team? Should I walk away? Are we good? Lock in profits. Whoa, DGAS shot up. $51.45. And of course, it begins to make higher highs. What's new? $52.60. It's all good. So locked in $188.46 profit. Not bad, right? Holy guacamole. Dang straight. So now what do we do? Now what do we do? I'm going to go back to the charts. So we got filled on this. Natural gas with this huge sell-off, meaning that UGAS is unfortunately down, right? So this is my approach. This does not mean that you have to follow it. There it goes. It's still breaking its support. Oh, that's oversold. So I'm going in right now, average position a little bit below 80.50. Do you guys see that? A little bit below 80.50. This is, I view it as a dip buy opportunity. Congrats, first of all. Congrats to all of you. I love you, DGAS. Congrats to all of you guys that absolutely killed it on DGAS. It made sense on now why I locked in profits on UGAS, right? Because you never truly know. First of all, you guys at least have to understand with as much money as you guys made on, you know, on DGAS, you have to, like, please just don't get into the mindset where you think that you have it all figured out and that it's just a guessing game. This is not where you get lucky for a long period of time. And as long as you understand that, that's what's important to me. So I just want to make sure that we set the right priorities and the right standards and guidelines to make sure that we guide you in the right direction, right? So it sold off. It built about a 2.5% margin. There we go. So once it breaks above this specific price point, so I would add another. Again, I probably don't want to go in too heavy on this. So if I go in with, holy moly, what are we up? It's Jason Bourne. There we go. Wait. Oh, no. All right. Oh! No! It literally sold off? Where was that? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Freaking Jew. Ugh. All right. I'm going to do 200 shares. I'm not going to let FOMO mess me up right now. Right? I'm going to be patient. Give it a little bit more time. Honestly, it played out much better than I expected. I'm up 713 and 84 cents on the day. Oh my gosh, and there it goes. All right, 200 shares. I'm going to put a freaking limit order. All right. You guys are probably all just laughing at me, huh? I can't even imagine. I'm going to rewatch that because I probably made the most ridiculous faces I've ever made in my life. First of all, I saw this thing push up. I was ready. I saw... Can you guys answer this for me? Why was I so motivated to sell at that price point at around 82.50? Why would that have been my target sell price? So I bought the dip. You guys know the natural gas report came off. It had a huge sell-off. Why would I have been so motivated to have bought in the dip? Middle VWAP resistance, something that we are all aware of, right? So as it approached that, I did not expect it to get rejected that quick. So one of my biggest mistakes for today would have been that I sold with a limit order, with a market order, which again, it's kind of like when a stop loss is triggered. So my market order was sent when it was right around this, 82.30, 82.40 area. But because it dropped so quickly, it got filled wherever, it could fill me first. And unfortunately, that's not something that I'm able to decide. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So a huge area of opportunity. Correct. It's not that if I should have approached it with a limit order, is that if my target sell price was around that 82.40 area because I was well aware of that specific price point, right? That I was well aware of that specific price point, I should have had set my limit order there ready to sell as it was approaching already. Do you get what I'm saying? My thing was I did not prepare myself up for success on that one. I let it happen and just went with the flow. And although that can work sometimes, I'm just saying what I could have done better. Because every day we could always do something that, can possibly be a little bit better, right? So that was my biggest mistake for the day. And yeah, a little bit bummed, but still very happy with how we're doing. So, all right. What's up, guys? Okay. All right, there we go. It's pushing back up. And I'll keep you guys up to date with my position, but yeah. So thank you guys again so much for your time. I feel like that was definitely the most exciting. I feel like, I feel like the overall trades on TQQQ, right? TQQQ, right? So Don doesn't make fun of me. So TQQQ is back at that, same resistance area. So it's trying to hit highs of $53. So it's back up. And then that small little trade that I had on UGAS, I felt like, the way that I spoke about it and the way that I talked about it and stuff like that, it made sense. But yeah, so I'll keep you guys up to date with everything. I sold my initial position. So when I bought the dip and then I averaged up and then I sold my position at that 100% share size, I sold my position. I got back in as it dropped because based off of how it traded last week, right? My average price as of right now is at 81.74. So I'm down on my secondary position for UGAS, right? But again, it's something that I feel comfortable doing. I might be completely wrong and then I'll end up having to give back some of my profits, but it's something that I feel comfortable doing. Overall, natural gas was something that was showing signs of it trying to be bullish on the day. So I feel like once this hype, let me at least explain this. Once this hype and this news dies out from this natural gas report, we'll slowly start to see it, the hype to be less relevant and for it to continue to previous patterns. So at least I think naturally it should be able to recover to about like that 82 to to $83 price point, because that's where it was trading before this natural gas report came out. So I'll follow up with it and see how it plays out. Just wanted to thank you guys again for your time. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. Hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.